why is this girl so beautiful? Like, oh, no, 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 no. That's not why I came here. I came here to discuss something very important. But first of all, if this is your first time on this channel, wouldn't you love to see this beautiful girl talk about Jesus Christ? Like, wouldn't you? If I were you, I would love to see someone beautiful talking about Jesus Christ because, yeah, I really want to know about God more. But today, I want to talk about church. This is a topic that some people don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. I have been avoiding it, but I think this is the best time to talk about it because I'm a member of a church. And you should also be a member of a church also. But one thing I want to say is that if you've gone to church, or maybe if you've met somebody that says that, I'm not going to that church again, and you ask why, and the person say, the people in that church, they like feeling too big, they like feeling themselves too much, they dress a lot, they make me feel as if I'm not among. Or maybe the person will not tell you that there's a woman there that is climbing the altar. If you know what that woman used to do in the house, whenever she just climbs the altar like this, I'm like, what's this? Please, if you've met those kind of people that stopped going to church because of all this kind of wahala or all this kind of palava, please just raise your hand up in the comment section below. Or maybe you can also tell me anything that somebody you know has stopped going to church because of. Because today, I want to address this church, not going to church issue. So let's head right into the video, guys.
You're watching Kabe Obugo.
See, let me tell you. Church is hard for the person walking through the doors, afraid of judgment. Church is hard for the pastor's family under the microscope of an entire body. Church is hard for the prodigal soul returning home, broken and battered by the world. Church is hard for the girl who looks like she has it all together, person like me, but doesn't. Church is hard for the couple who fought the entire ride to service. Church is hard for the single mom, surrounded by couples that are holding hands and seemingly perfect families. Church is hard for the widow and the widower, with no invitation to lunch after service. Church is hard for the deacon with an estranged child. Yes, there are some people that are hiding their children because they don't want people to judge them. Church is hard for the person that is singing worship songs and is overwhelmed by the weight of the lyrics. Church is hard for the man insecure in his role as a leader. Church is hard for the wife who longs to be led by a righteous man. Church is hard for the nursery volunteer who desperately longs for a baby to love. People that are taking care of children in the church. Church is hard for the single woman and single man that has been praying to God to bring them a mate. Church is hard for that teenage girl that is wearing a scarlet letter, ashamed of her mistake. If you know what I mean, put it in the comment section. Church is hard for the sinners. Church is hard for me. It's hard because on the outside it looks all shiny and perfect. Sunday, best behavior and dress. However, underneath those layers you find a hobby, a body of imperfect people, carnal souls, selfish motives. But here is the beauty of church. Church isn't a building. It's not a mentality or expectation. Church is a body. Church is a group of sinners saved by grace, living in fellowship as saints. Church is a body of believers bound as brothers and sisters by an eternal love. Church is a holy ground where sinners stand as equal before the throne of grace. Church is a refuge for a broken heart and a training ground for mighty warriors. Church is a converging of confrontation and invitation, where sin is confronted and hearts are invited to seek restoration. Church is a lesson in faith and trust. Church is a bearer of burdens and a giver of hope. Church is a family coming together, setting aside differences, forgetting past mistakes, rejoicing in the smallest of victories. Church, the body and the circle of sinners turned saints, is where he resides, where Jesus Christ resides. And if we ask, he is faithful to always come for us. So even in those hard days at church, the days when you are at odds with a friend, when you have fought with your husband because he's late coming home once again, or when you have walked bearing burdens that your heart cannot handle, or when you are masking a pain with a smile on your face, when you have worn a scarlet letter under the microscope, when you've longed for a baby to hold, or fought tears when you are singing a particular lyrics, or when you have walked back in and you are afraid, you are broken, you are walking away from God, you will remember that God has never failed to meet you in church, to meet me in church. So come to church. Don't listen to that friend. Don't listen to that boy. Don't listen to that man. Don't listen to that woman that says, change your church. We just finished something in my church called the Seasons of Grace Conference. And I learned that you're just supposed to have one pastor that is supposed to preside over you. Are you trusting that man? Are you trusting that person that God has put over you? Don't leave because people are making mistakes. Don't leave. God will always meet you at your point of needs when you are at the place He has destined you. He has designed you, predestined you to be. And that is your church. I hope I've been able to touch someone's heart today. I hope I've been able to explain the meaning of church and try to change your heart about when you say, this church is this church is that, this church is this church is that. And I pray that the Holy Spirit convicts your heart. Thank you for watching. If you really love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm so happy today. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Thank you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.